I haven't done one of these in a long time, so I thought it'd be fun to reminisce about every festival that has released. And this was quite fun to record. It took me a while because I've been sick for the past few days, so sorry for not many uploads. But in any case, thank you for clicking, and also thank you for the sponsor of today's video. Today's video is sponsored by an awesome RPG game with over 700 unique champions, a super detailed and tactical RPG battle system, amazing graphics, and intense PvE and PvP content. And I bet you know exactly what game that is. Yep, it's Raid Shadow Legends. Here to tell you about their cool new winter and Christmas update. And to not miss it, you should download the game using my link in the description for iOS, Android, or even PC, or scan the QR code on screen. With some incredible legendary champions such as the Frost King, which is a great protector with his first skill able to place a perfect veil, or Glizia with an aura skill that increases ally resistance by 60 in all battles, so she's viable across all areas of the game, and many more icy cold champions. After acquiring the new champs, you should also join my guild, the Epic Gamers, which I cannot believe the game wasn't taken yet. With the holidays just around the corner, Raid thought of the best present to the players they could, a brand new feature called the Cursed City, one of their biggest since the Doom Tower, with 100 stages to beat. Including some, you get to fight 2 bosses at the same time. And best of all, the rewards for completing it include even a mythical champion. So you definitely don't want to miss out by clicking those links in the description to download the game. And this month, Raid is celebrating the festive season by also getting the players awesome rewards through Raid's Christmas Story, a special holiday themed event with mini games you can participate to win, both in-game and real-life prizes, by heading to raidxmas.com. So make sure to download the game using my links or scanning the QR code on screen, and any new players out there will be getting a big-time head start with 2 epic heroes, a very strong champ called Lightsworn, and once you hit level 15, a boss killer called Juliana. So find me under the name Nagraid and join my clan. See you there! Lost Vein Meliodas is honestly one of the most recognizable festivals in this game. Such a ominous presence. To this day, I think when he came out, it was a insane power creep for then and on. Really, festivals ever since then have been crazier and crazier, and this guy started it all. Now he has an LR, and you know, obviously this was the most perfect first LR we could have asked for, being the first festival and such a well-liked one. Everyone loved Lost Vein Meliodas, so to this day he is actually still usable because of the LR. And kind of interesting thing that he, you know, was the first LR, and everyone thought, okay, not everyone, but a lot of people thought they're gonna make so LRs are the festivals, right? So next one's gonna be Goddess Liz, and then when the next one was Green Askin, it was like, I guess they're gonna make characters that we love from the past LRs, and then next one was Red Liz, and I was like, okay, what is this? There is no pattern. Like, whatever goes, goes, right? In any case, such a beloved character, and I mean, to this day he's usable, so that's a good thing, right? It's not like I'm coming in here. I mean, last time I did this video, when we did use Lost Vein Meliodas was before the LR, so he was pretty bad. Like, he was pretty unusable. So coming from that last video, and now coming in, it's like, bro, Lost Vein's actually good now, even though our first turn got stolen by Ban here. Obviously in this video, I'm gonna end up... Okay, that doesn't count. Repeating festivals, because it's just, you know, obviously the nature of the game. The festivals work well together because they are some of the best characters in the game. I'm going to be wasting a lot of PvP stamina today, it looks like. But whenever we actually repeat the festivals, I did this last video as well, I'll try to make them play differently. And that should be fine. Not a team I want to face, honestly. Kind of an annoying team, but whatever. Let's do this. Get a level 3 for next turn in case he crits me. And I really like how they kept his essence with the LR. It feels like, you know, like Green Ascanor, for example. Obviously, when he became an LR, his kit was so unsalvageably bad from the beginning that they had to completely change how the character works as a whole to make him viable. While Lost Vein, like, they did like change him quite a bit in improvements in a lot of other things, right? But he kept his essence. The leveling up the card when being crit is still his like main thing, even after becoming an LR, which I quite like. You know, they changed him. They had to, right? Because they had to improve him. But the change wasn't so significant that it completely changed the character into something unrecognizable. Now, they took it to a like completely wrong direction when it came to like Margaret, but we'll talk about Margaret when we get there. You know, Ascanor, which he doesn't have a festival. Like, Ascanor has festivals. Wrong phrasing. Green Ascanor is not a festival. That's what I meant. Green Ascanor is not a festival, so he's not gonna be part of this video. You know, at least directly. So I can talk about him now. He completely, you know, changed the character. He's unrecognizable from when he first came out, but Lost Vein is not. He still kind of plays the same. Even after becoming an LR, just better. Which is cool, right? It's really cool. I believe the ult will kill. It's unfortunate that I actually combined the card there, so it's going to be less cards for the extra damage, but whatever. It's the first time I actually used the skate skin that came out recently. Lost Vein, still good. Hope they make more festivals LRs, to be honest. Goddess Liz, the most hated festival to ever release. And the second one, anniversary, first anniversary. How great. A character that surprisingly never got an LR, thankfully it didn't. And now we know it will never. We got an LR Liz already, and the Liz that just came out in November is pretty much Goddess Liz. Like, the kit has a revive on it. So, you know, I would count her as like a Goddess Liz 2.0 in a way. So, I mean, we're pretty much just going to be using Goddesses with her because she doesn't really have much use in the game anymore. She is now technically the for realsies oldest LR because, oldest festival, because seeing that festival Lost Vein got an LR version, he got updated, right? So in terms of a character that's the most outdated festival, she is definitely the one. You know, Lost Vein got a brand new revamp to his kit. So is he really an old unit anymore? I don't know. In any case, she hasn't been good for a while, but she was good for a long time. That revive of hers is just obnoxious. And, I mean, the revive of the new Liz is also obnoxious, so reviving is just a great mechanic, isn't it? Fantastic. Great idea. In any case, was a meta unit for a long time, everyone hated her. Came off of meta, actually not that long after she came out, but kept coming back. That's the thing. Goddess Liz's kit is just so annoying that she kept making returns to meta. And that's the thing that really ticked people off. Having to deal with her for years. Thankfully, this character in particular is never going to make a return. Like, I do not think they're ever going to go back and make her an LR. There already is an LR Liz. What's the point of doing that, right? But, you know, they are already making characters similar to her again, you know? You cannot tell me that new Liz is not a similar character to this Liz. She is. So, alright, this should be simple and easy. I'm going to remove remove the stance and ult Hell, actually, because the disable is gonna make so her ult is gonna suck anyways. And really, you take out Hell, it's kind of Jover. Does she have Torment? She does. You bastard. Actually not so sure if it's gonna kill now, but let's see. Actually not so sure. Damn, someone that's putting Torment on Hell instead of Oh, he did kill. Okay, good. I forget that actually she's an LR now. She probably does way more damage than she used to with the revamped stats. Any case, thankfully she's not usable anymore. Like, Thankfully, she's not, you know? If we had to deal with her for much longer, people would have continued to be pissed. I mean, not that... Comparatively, right? Have we had recently characters that are just as annoying as she was? Probably. Probably. I would say Hell is incredibly annoying. Most of the unknown characters that are meta are annoying. Now that I really think about it. I would say, you know, the new Liz is incredibly annoying as well. So there's definitely characters that we've had in recent releases. They're just annoying, but because she's the first truly cancer character, I think she's more memorable because of it. We've had the cancer characters before. You know, King and Helbram together was pretty AIDS, but Goddess Liz was a different level. Festival King, OG Fast King referred to now. Honestly, I feel like a lot of global players never got to really experience how dominant this character was when he came out. You know, he was a character that was highly skipped on global because people knew, you know, the one was gonna come out afterwards. So, you know, obviously you weren't gonna summon for King, the one was gonna come out. But in any case, like, this character was super dominant when he first came out, and he was meant to like counter the current Lost Vein plus Goddess Liz meta, and he did that pretty well. Like, he was super dominant when he came out. A lot of people don't believe that because he, again, if you played global, you didn't really see that. His banner dropped, and shortly after, his meta was gone. He was a very short-lived meta on global, but on JP, it kind of lasted quite a bit. And then, you know, the one came out. In any case, right now, completely unusable character. I would not be super upset if he got an LR, to be honest. I'm gonna try running this. Because, I mean, King should get an LR soon, right? Or at least at some point. And when you look at the options, it's like, I mean, I guess they could give it to one of the skinny kings. I don't think one of the fat kings should get an LR. Like, the new king could get an LR. They give it to Margaret, so I think options are on the table, but I don't know, man. Something about OG King. Like, they could make him a decent LR. But yeah, he's completely unusable. There's zero chance I'll win this match. Oh, never mind. Actually, maybe I'll win this. I was thinking I would face like a Hell or a Goddess team. That would be completely unwinnable, but this is not a great match, but not the worst thing ever, actually. Let's do this. So, King's whole thing was supposed to be controlling ult gauge. Like I said, he was meant to counter the, at the time, extremely dominant meta of ult rush, right? And he did just that. He controlled ults incredibly well. I should have gone for Melascula. I was thinking, you know, let me take off her thing. No, I wasn't even thinking that I was going to kill Chandler. Like, I was thinking, you know, Bon's going to do some hits and we'll almost kill Chandler. Then we can kill him next turn, remove the taunt, and then attack Melascula. But I did a lot more damage than I expected. That is not what I actually wanted to happen. Yeah, it's really on me here. That's nobody's fault but mine. In any case, his kit is completely super outdated. Like, there is nothing he can really do. Yeah, he just cleansed my debuffs. We're about to get one-shotted. Ouchie! That did less than I expected, actually. He could be updated into an LR that could work, honestly. Like, they could make his whole debuffing thing works. I think that the most major thing is that, like, there's a lot of cleansing right now. Like, DK just cleansed my debuffs. Margaret cleanses. You can... Purgatory Meli even cleanses, but I don't know if I count him. There's a lot of ways to deal with it. And then if you face the unknown team, you don't want to AoE them. If they did something about the debuffs, he could become an LR, but now completely unusable. Once dominant, but, you know, times do pass. Speaking of a character that used to be dominant, you know, the one, my condolences to Escanor characters. They come out, they are insane, and then they try to like take him down almost right away. You know, that they tried with Traitor Meli, they couldn't, but they tried. The one ultimate, also my condolences, right? Any case, now he's completely worthless, unusable, and he's not even gonna get an LR. A lot of people were very happy with Green Axe being LR. I was also happy, but honestly, I think I would have been happier if the one got an LR. We already have the one ultimate, but I don't know, man. This character was so cool, so cool. And I'm gonna try to do something here. It's kind of using the same team we just did, but crit chance, you know, attack with the stats in general, and she's gonna be lowering their stats. Hopefully, it can do some damage with the one, but it's just completely unusable now. DPS only characters, right? They're gonna expire soon. This is the thing with DPS only characters. The one actually took a while. He was meta for a little while, comparatively to a lot of DPS only characters. Like, he just did so much damage. Oh no, of course I get a team that can't be lowered. I don't know what I was thinking actually. Well, let's see his damage, whatever. He actually took a while. Like, he was so good, and he was so good, alright? That he, even though there's nothing really special about him, he just does damage, right? He does damage, that's it. But it doesn't matter, like, he was just that strong. But, you know, a character like this eventually falls off because characters release that not only do damage, but also do other stuff. And that's the thing. If a character only does damage, they're gonna get taken out by future characters that do more than just damage. They do damage plus, they do X. And Escanor did no X. There was no X in that equation. It was just damage. But people remember the good times with the one. I certainly do. Look at that. I certainly do. He was of much service for me. Got a lot of content out of him. For good reason, you know, so much fun, getting pretty much one-shots. You ranked him up, got level 3. You had the Ludociel passive, that was a one-shot right there, boom. Back in my day. This is not gonna kill, but I have max damage. Should have gone for Tristan actually, oh, I'm stupid. There was no chance of killing Mael here. Ban, come on. Ban, got a crit in there. She got the ult! Oh my god. Please tell me you're a 1-6. Please tell me any cleanse the freaking attack lords. She was finally attack lord by freaking Ban. Oh nice. No one has this character with dupes because like legit, like even whales I face don't have her 6-6 because like who in their right mind was gonna spend all of their gems right now when December Festival is gonna be better? Like, we just know. Only time where December Festival was not better was Assault Meli, a character that was broken for 1 day, and then people realized he's very easy to circumvent. The relic did help after years of him being released. Years? I don't know how long the time frame was. I don't remember actually. Long time. After a long time since his release, he became usable for like quite a bit actually. His relic was so good for him that he got more playtime after becoming irrelevant than when he was supposed to be at his prime. Really, like this is how good the relic was. And also, you know, the infamous 5th weapon that we took forever to get. Any case, I mean, this character is also like, just like any Meliodas that comes out, is a beloved festival. Not as beloved, I think, out of all the Meliodas festivals we've ever had, he's the least liked one. And that is exactly because he was so underwhelming at his release. I mean, again, at his release, day 1, people were freaking out, like, he's broken, dude, he's insane. And then, short-lived. Short-lived for sure. That was. I am kind of screwed here. You can't really win against unknown using demons. I mean, demons are really bad right now in any case. Demons are really just really bad. So it's gonna be a problem here. We're probably gonna lose very badly, but we're not here. Like these old festivals, I'm not expecting the easiest matches because they really are just bad, you know. I don't know the time frame exactly, but I have an idea. Like after Ban, I want to say after Purgatory Ban, festivals started scaling like crazy, like legit. Festivals started getting crazy after Ban, I want to say. She's not gonna do that much damage. I don't think she only has one buff. Yeah, I'm gonna heal more than I took actually. And you know, now we have festivals that have paragraphs of stuff that they do. While you know, Assault Meli here, when he came out, like he came out as a counter to the one. Again, didn't work also well because he was so easy to work around, but that's what he was meaning to do. And you know, countering a character that pretty much only did damage is not the hardest thing, right? So his kit isn't so complex either. Again, the relic did help. We're gonna try to do some damage here before we ult, see what he can do, but I mean, it's not gonna be the most. This team I'm facing is just incredibly tanky as well, which doesn't help our boy. Let's, oh man, I wish I could AoE, but obviously I'm gonna lose ult gauge if I do. Let's do this, and then I'll, you know, ult. Yeah, I mean, this is not the... this is not a team I can actually do damage against, so... unfortunate. Traitor Meli will take the carry for now, but yeah. Again, interestingly, got more use after he was supposed to be irrelevant. I guess supposed to be irrelevant is wrong, because his relic meant to revive him, right? And it did that, so... interesting history this guy has. Am I crazy to think that Lolly Merlin is the most, like, better aged character? Poor terming. Better aged. That's the only term I can use. Better aged festival that has ever released. Like, you look at the festivals that have aged well, either they got buffed, like Zeldris, or, you know, they got an LR, like Lost Vein. But Merlin, dude... the new activity, the new PV activity that just came out, Merlin was on the team. Like, that's crazy, right? You know? But, you know, long after she came out, she became meta. She kind of still is usable in top 100, like, Cancer Tarmiel strategy. Not as good as Demon King, though, because he also got, you know, the damage cap. The damage cap is the real big deal for her. And when she came out, people thought she was going to be terrible because they're... and this has never happened again, okay? Like, back then, they actually did their PvP showcases for the festivals, like, for realsies. Like, they actually went on against each other. And the guy that was playing Lolly Merlin, I think they were both actually playing Lolly Merlin, was not showcasing her very well, I'll tell you. Like, she looked pretty bad in the showcase for the unit on the official live stream for the character. And that was pretty interesting. Obviously, she came out and she was actually pretty good. She got much better after some other unknown characters came out. When she released, there was not that many unknown characters. But coincidentally, we got a ReZero collab almost right after that. So just so happened to have a 20% basic stab offer. Wow! Just so happened, right? Any case. Very well-aged character. The relic was pretty good, and there's something I was missing that I meant to talk about. I'm pretty sure I'm forgetting. I meant to talk about. Oh yeah, so that Lolly Merlin string, right? We all came out like, bro, she sucks. Like, she sucks. They showcase her so poorly. And then, you know, not that long after, we had the Margaret showcase, which I'll talk about Margaret once we get there, but I probably wouldn't have talked about this anyway, so I might as well talk about it now. Dude, that showcase was so bad, they never did that again. Like, the way they did showcases back then was like, they would actually try to use the character, and the enemy would go for realsies, right? They wouldn't, like, play up and play like shit, so that the new festival would win every time. They actually like went on and used the other team and try to win. And in the Margaret showcase, they lost twice with Margaret. The guy using Margaret lost twice to the other guy that wasn't using Margaret. That was just embarrassing. Ever since then, they never done it again. Since then, like, the person that's facing the new festival on the showcases for the official stream doesn't even play the game. Like, they just keep moving cards and stuff. Or if they want to, like, attack, it's just like, oh, this attack barely does damage to the new festival. It's like like a level 1 card. Like, it was pretty embarrassing back then. This is gonna be a funny one because he's not really a unit he should actually use, but a back unit. In any case, Zeldris. When he came out, he was kind of a joke. He was really bad. But eventually they buffed him. He became actually pretty decent. If you don't remember, he used to only give 2% every 10 debuffs. Or sorry, for up to 10 debuffs. It was just so much worse. But this minor buff they gave him was pretty good. Yeah, another character that, you know, at launch seemed very bad. True back-to-back, really. True festivals back-to-back that seemed pretty bad at launch. But he actually was pretty bad. And, you know, eventually we got stuff for him. Because there weren't as many characters as well at the time that would be giving us so many debuffs on the enemies consistently that were actually good too. Green Sauriel wasn't a thing as a Link either. Like, getting 10 debuffs on the enemies, either you're using Kyo, or like, I don't know, man, like, it was not very easy to fulfill this requirement of his. So that was really bad for the character. I kind of want to do this. And then save the, oh, I thought it'd be dodge. Save the Meli cards. Because I'm not killing DK. He's gonna have Traitor Meli. My best bet is to kill Chandler next turn when he taunts with Meli. That's really about it. But yeah, I don't expect to even win this match because Zeldris is just, he was meant to be a back unit. And he is a back unit. He's a good back unit to this day, which is crazy. It's just, the thing is that back units are so far in between. They don't release that many. And I guess it sort of makes sense. Like, they don't release many characters anymore in general. They release way less than they used to. And the main reason for that is, I assume, because of the cutback in developers. You know, most of the team that used to work on Grand Cross is now working on Origin, and that's been confirmed by them. So, you know, there's definitely a layer to that. And if there's not that many, you know, characters releasing, they mainly want to make characters that people are going to actually use in the front, because those are the exciting ones, right? Back units aren't very exciting. So I understand why there's not that many back units. So Zeldris, a character that released years and years ago, is still the most versatile back unit in the game. Strange. He has a festival, so, you know, I can't hate on that. But it is strange. Alright, Zeldris, you're gonna have to do a Hail Mary here. For demons, he's not, funnily enough, because you can't even use him on demons, because you obviously are going to be using Demon King Zeldris. You're not going to be using this Zeldris, right? And even if he was, they released another Zeldris for demons, and they released the Cusack, which is better. But interesting character. Purg Ban. This unit was so great at release. It marked a new age of characters. Units that have impossibly high all stats, and ever since his release, it's been this way. This character legitimately was a before and after in Grand Cross. Like, every character since then, especially every festival since this character, has all been... I mean, festivals were already, like, better than the rest, obviously. They were meant to be. But I feel like since Purgatory Ban, the power gap, every single release, keeps going up and up and up, and this is the beginning. He was the first character I ever called the greatest unit in history. Now I call these for almost every festival, because that's pretty much how it is. You know, every festival, pretty much, not every single one, but pretty much every festival now is the greatest unit in history. Like, that's how it is, right? I was just gonna try to make him, like, max HP and stuff, but yeah, he's old. Like, he's really old. I'm not even playing geared, because, like, I don't want to keep changing stuff. I was gonna play all the matches in ungeared either. Obviously, this character kind of ruled the game for a long time. It was even sort of annoying how meta he was. Like, people got sick and tired of him at some point, but he kept being meta. And then he got a Holy Relic. He was one of the first Holy Relics in the game while he was already meta. Like, he was meta and then he got even better. It was just so stupid. It was legitimately so idiotic that they gave him a relic so early, considering, again, he was already a meta character. I don't like this. I do not like this. I want to pop this, but then it's going to increase his damage as well. Yeah, there's not much I can do here. I can't even kill him, because my damage is not... Maybe my damage was a little higher than expected, but doesn't matter. Yeah, I actually did quite a bit. I'm gonna die though, because his ultimate is super strong. I actually did quite a bit more than I expected. No! I'm sealed, so even if my ult kills, I'm gonna die next turn. Dude, he has so much HP! I don't even think I'm gonna kill him, because they don't have buffs. This character was so overpowered, and it's the thing where, like, you should never, in these games, make characters scale with another stat other than attack. Like, it's been a mistake in other games before, like Epic 7. Epic 7 made a huge mistake when they allowed characters to scale with HP or defense, and it was a mistake in Grand Cross. It really was. And ever since then, they haven't really made that mistake much. They did it with Griamore, and they quickly reverted that. So it just goes to show how it was a mistake, right? But in any case, honestly, kind of as like a memory, Ban is a fun character. But obviously at the time, when he was super annoying to face, maybe it wasn't so fun. Margaret is a festival with an interesting history, because not only she got buffed almost right away, because she was kind of mid, and I'm gonna assume, like, the banner sold nothing, because it's like a pretty unhyped character. It's Margaret, even if it's Ludociel. And then the unit was mid, so they just buffed her almost right away. And then, obviously we got as an LR recently, which I think it's unfortunately the worst LR, you know, improvement out of the 4. The character was already pretty decent. Like, even if Margaret had never become an LR, she would still be a staple on the current Goddess team. Obviously, I think that as soon as we get any new God units, you know, they are any decent, Margaret, even as an LR, would be the first one to be replaced, because there's no way you're going to replace Mael or Liz. Like, obviously the back unit is lacking for Goddesses, even to this day. But I don't even think we're gonna get a good Goddess unit in like a long time, because we got the LR. I mean, Mael is, you're not gonna replace him. We'll get to Mael when we get there, right? But I don't think we're gonna see a new Goddess unit for quite a while. So, you know, Margaret has that. But even if she had never got an LR, she would have still been a staple because you gotta get that blue card in. You gotta get those basic stats in. Like, she gets up to 40% basic stats, but this is one thing I wish they had improved with the LR. I think it takes a little too long for those 40%. In any case, interesting character. At launch, like I said, she was not very good, and even on their showcase for Margaret, on their live showcase, they lost to Ban, which was very, very funny to watch it live. But that just goes to show, like, after that showcase, after the Margaret showcase live, they've never let the, I don't know if it's the announcers that play while the showcase goes, but the people who did the showcases don't just play the game normally anymore. They are, they have like a script or something, so that the new unit doesn't look stupid and lose. That was a very embarrassing moment to watch live. In any case, Margaret was so good after the buff. I believe she was, I would consider, bastion in the game for a long time after that. You know? Because no characters anymore have like a cleanse card. Cleanse is such an outdated skill, but obviously Margaret doesn't just cleanse, she cleanse, gives you damage increase and damage reduction. No character since her has such a good blue card. Zero. In PvP at least. We've had, in PvE, if you wanna, use semantics, you can say, oh, the LR Liz, when she uses the blue card, does a lot of stuff as well. But we're talking about PvP here. There's no other character in the game with such a good blue card like this one. Really, I thought that was gonna kill. With damage increase and everything? No. Which kept her relevant for a long, long time. So, well, that's, I don't want to get too in talks about the Goddess team, because we're gonna have to keep repeating this exact same team when we get to Liz and Mael, because, I mean, what other options do we have, really? Goddess is only runnable with these three together. Cusack was a festival that, if you didn't play when he came out, you're probably asking, why was he a festival? And if you were playing when he came out, we were all wondering, why is he a festival? It's a question we'll never have a true answer to. But interesting thing, I think that he was a unit that just released at a bad time. Because his kit is not bad for, the time. It's just that he was meant to counter Ban, but he came out, 2 weeks after Margaret. They had this whole like weird thing where there was like a dual festival celebration. Never did it again because it was very, very poorly received, as it should have been. And Cusack should have released before Margaret because he was meant to counter Ban. But Margaret was the new meta. Ban was not meta anymore. So Cusack just existed. Unfortunate for my guy. In any case though, I mean, his passive is not bad. And I'm bringing here the new relic for... Let's do this. We don't actually have to do that. I'm just gonna spam single targets here. Brought in here the new relic for Mon Speed as well, because if you recall, there was a time where Mon Speed and Cusack were meta together. Now, clearly that was a long time ago because that was they didn't kill them with 3 single targets, but because Cusack's passive works for the whole team, right? If you do the single target, you do more damage based on their health. And for a period of time, Kyo, Cusack, and Monspeed were a very good combo together. That was a while ago, and unfortunately, these characters are very old, their stats are old, everything about them is not very good anymore, but it happened, so let's do something like this, get the kill on Margaret guaranteed here, or I think this is even better, yeah. Really, that's it? Okay, never mind. I really thought that was gonna do quite a decent amount of damage and we're gonna get double kill. I was wrong. Yeah, Cusack is a unusable character these days. But I think that he is remembered way worse than he actually was. At least that's the vibe I get. Because he did have a meta. Like, he did have a time where he was top tier. He was a meta character. It was just not when he released, and that's the issue, right? People mainly remember the time when the character released. Not, you know, a few months after the fact. It's when the character releases that it really matters. Please kill Liz. So he removes the revive. Okay. Cusack is here in in spirit. Any case, let's move on. Cusack, badly remembered character, but he was good at one point. He was. Next up, we have Hijack Gowther. If I'm not mistaken, he's the last festival that actually came with a character on his banner. It was like the blue Hauser. After that, I'm almost certain none of the festivals had an extra like side unit on the banner as well, unless I'm mistaken. Any case, this character is interesting. He's like a debuffer, and festivals don't tend to be anything other than main damage dealers. Like, we have very few of them. Margaret is obviously a support, but a support that at the time also did a ton of damage. Gowther was just support and mainly a debuffer, so it was kind of like the odd one out when you look at all the festivals that we have. Because when you look at it, yeah, most festivals have utility now, especially since Ban. Like, team utility in some way. But few of them are just utility. Like, you have utility, but you also have other stuff going on, usually. You probably have Tarm Link on her, right? Yeah. That's fine. Because Reamer's gonna remove buff, so I'm just running like a pretty fun team here. With Gowther, there's no best team, really. Like, he's not the greatest. But Reamer is quite decent on the meta right now. Against, I was mainly hoping I would face Goddesses, because then we could seal the Margaret card, right? But unfortunately we did not. Reamer is really good on the meta right now because of the buff removal. And I was hoping again, the buff seal would have been very useful as well. So buff removal is going to be good right here. I'm going to remove that buff. Yep. Yeah, Rimuru, unfortunately not a festival, so I can't include him on the video, but I guess I'll just talk about him since I'm using him. Somehow, some way, still relevant. Like, he is actually still being used. To some extent. It's not like people are like non-stop using him right now, like it's the meta team. But the fact that he's still usable, what a character, what a unit. Can't say the same for Gowther. He kind of fell off, but he was meta for quite a while, especially because of his relic. I didn't pop his relic here because, in fact, I didn't even use a single card of his because there's not much for me to use. And I'm not going to run a second match. Ideally, I would have faced a Goddess team because then I would have been able to, you know, seal them. But his relic... I guess I'll pop the relic. His relic, when he released, it was one of my favorite releases of all time. The attack-related stab buff was so useful. And you could run him on any team and he would give the passive attack increase and the relic attack increase. And your characters would be popping off. It was so much fun. Like right here we have the attack increase from Albedo, we have the Pierce, and we have Gowther. So in the ungeared we're looking at so much so much attack and Pierce. You know, really fun character with the relic. Before the relic I never really liked this character, to be honest. I just don't like the design of his. But the relic really brought him up. Like 300k in ungeared level 1. That's because of his relic. It's just super, super good. King is a sad tale of the November festival. He released and he was the best unit in the game. And then just a month later, Traitor Meli released and completely dwarfed King's position into nothingness. Just for PvP and also PvE actually, because Bird was the only really relevant activity at the time and Traitor Meli also kind of demolished that. In any case, King was very, very good at launch, and he persisted being good for various activities. So, I mean, still a very, very, I think, well-remembered character. He doesn't really have a good team right now, so I'm gonna try some, like, weird stuff. Merlin is gonna use King's Shield to try and get Liz up. Oh, he's using Hell, of course. No one's using Hell anymore. Like, at all. And then I faced the one guy that's still using this thing. Oh my god. Yeah, lots of things completely demolish him. Like, the shield at launch was incredible. But ever since King, they started releasing characters that one-shot the shield with level 1 AoEs. Because the whole thing was, you know, you get, like, what is it, 100% damage reduction. But damage reduction as we know it isn't, like, factual. If it says 100%, it means 100% of damage that isn't increased. So, for example, if someone has a power strike or something, that extra damage from the power strike completely bypasses the shield. So, it's 100%, but not really. But not really. You know what? I'm just gonna do this right here. Will it double kill? I think this is better. But we still get, with, you know, with his relic, the basic stat increase and the damage increase, which is not part of the relic, but part of the kit. So King's Shield, you know, you can still use him for stuff. Okay, well, I thought he was gonna do a little bit more than that. You know, when you use Liz, you use her in a proper team. Not this. You end up seeing a lot more damage. That King's Shield is very outdated. Very outdated character. Ouchie. Somehow survived with Liz. Very, very outdated. And he already has a relic, so there's no improvement that can be made on that regard, right? We're just gonna have to hope that he gets an LR. Because honestly, I really like his kit. But I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think so. Now Traitor Meli. Honestly, I think my favorite release of all time. I think that's safe to say. Just the first Dark character, he was so impactful for both PvE and PvP. He was just such a menace. And honestly, he was PvP meta for quite a good while. You know, we had the meta with Estarossa and then Zeldris in the back and was it Zeldris in the front and then Ragnarok Ban in the back, and then Green Chandler came out and then we added him. Pretty good character for a long time. Right now he is still kind of usable, you know, if you run him on some PvE contents, but not really in PvP. Hopefully his relic soon at some point will actually make him a dominance in PvE again. I don't care about PvP for him. He had his time. But for PvE, I hope he becomes even better. I'm gonna try something weird. You know, we got the Amplified team here. Let's see how it goes. Oh, not the team I wanted to face, but we'll see. I don't think we're gonna do even that much to her because of 40% damage reduction. No dodge? Okay. Oh, dude. Oh, if it wasn't for Tarmiel Link, we would have actually killed. That's still kind of impressive to this day, you know? How much damage we just did right there. If I had a level 2 single target, if we had combined into level 2, I would have killed him for sure. Damn, that's actually pretty good. Obviously didn't have a Nanashi passive, but I think considering the 40% damage reduction, that was pretty impressive. Come on, survive. Okay, we got Nanashi, so I think he's gonna be okay. Yep. How about this? How about this? We do this single target right here. And then we do this one and AoE. Does it kill? Hope it kills both. Oh, it missed both crits. I don't know about now. Ooh, good AoE. But now he's full of corrosion. Oh my god, look at that. That's half his health. But not bad. That was not bad. That was not bad at all. Okay, he's only got 1 revive. That's pretty good. If he doesn't just obliterate my whole team here. Yeah, that's death. Didn't even have the Nashi passive. If I had the Nashi passive, maybe. Maybe. I think he survives. Yep, the Nashi passive. Yep. And Nashi's just too crazy. He might as well be in this video. Like, he he should have been a festival. Let's do this. You don't have Traitor Meli on her, so I can do this. We're gonna steal some attack first. Oh, I don't think I'm gonna kill. Nah. That's unfortunate. Was really hoping that would double kill. Was really hoping that would double kill. But listen, Meli did pretty good. I don't want to hear it. Meli did very good. Like, actually. If I... Nah, she's gonna, like, infinite lifesteal from that. She's gonna be, like, full health. Yeah, not as much as I thought it was gonna be, but... whatever, man. Whatever, man. I don't care, because Meli did good. And that's all that matters at the end of the day. If I had killed the Albedo first, it would have been even better, but whatever. Queen Diane was a character that at launch was pretty bad. It was really bad. And then out of nowhere comes Tarmiel Link. And everything changed for this character. Became meta, and then for, you know, a little while off meta again. Then Ban came out, became meta again. And I mean, she's still usable right now, so let's go. I mean, Sin Team, that's her best spot right now. And with her relic that she got alongside these 2 new characters, she, I mean, she's pretty good still. This guy is running similar team, but with Liz instead. Yeah, put up a taunt, and then let's just go straight for Ban, because he might not have dodge. I just think that, you know, if you're gonna run Sins, I wouldn't run with Liz. I would rather run with Diane. Liz just doesn't take Ban's passive. Like, Diane is taking the extra HP, and just giving, you know, increased damage for your Ban. Because the thing is, like, right now, if you're running Sins, Meli is not doing the damage. Ban is, right? Like, Ban is doing the damage. Because Meli is just kind of getting to the point where his damage is not enough. It is what it is, right? Units are H. But Ban has not got to that point yet. Let me re-put the taunt and then take off that ult gauge. Yeah, Dan is super annoying like this. And this is why, like, if you taunt with the N, it becomes very hard for your teammate, for your enemy, to take care of your ult rushes. Now he's going to, oh no, he's not going to, because the thing already went away. The Liz passive that removes your ult gauge is already gone, so never mind. Yeah, Diane's gonna win this for us. Nice. Still pretty good. We're getting to the more recent characters now, and the ones that are still runnable. So that's nice, because sloggering, is that a word? I'm gonna still say it, sloggering through these old characters was not very nice. But, you know, starting with the end here. He has Tarmiel Link on Meli? No chance, dude. No chance you have Tarmiel Link on Meli, dude. You are trolling. Tarmiel Link on Meli, not on Liz, on Meli. Now you got me. Next up we have the bad Light Elizabeth. We're gonna get to the good one, but this one is the one that was okay at launch and then fell off very quickly. I do not like this character, as you might know. I think that her design is bad, and that's really all I have to say about her. This is an unwinnable match. He's using the good Liz. Oh no. Never liked the design of this character, mainly because the way she needs to have 6 attacks from your team to then get the ball rolling and start doing something has always pissed me off. And also the fact that she has a time limit to it, so you can't really run her in real PvE activities. Like, that's by design. That's just by design. She's bad. But once you do have her passive procced after the 6 attacks and the match is pretty much done, she does hit hard with her AoE if you have max ult gauge. So it's not like she's all bad. I mean, now she is, but when she came out, I'm talking about I'm talking in the, you know, back when she was a relevant character. When she came out, it's not like it was all bad, but I just never liked her design whatsoever. Always thought that they purposefully either made her not as good or bad because, I don't know, I'm guessing they thought that you know, they already messed up by making one Liz stupid. Let's not make another. I have no idea why they designed her so poorly, but they did, okay? They did. Alright, let's see about the AoE. Can she still do damage with the AoE? So we'll find out. Hopefully we can kill this Liz here. Not looking good. Yeah. Yeah, back then, her AoE could do damage. You're gonna have to believe me on that. And now she's completely replaced. Like, there's no reason why you'd ever use her at all. There's another Light Liz in the game. They kind of did that to Meliodas as well, by releasing another, you know, Dark Meliodas too. But at the very least, Traitor Meliodas was better in PvE than Purgatory Meliodas. There's, like, this Light Liz is not good in PvE, and neither is the other new Liz. So PvP is the only the only aspect for which they compete, and obviously the new one is better in every way. But, you know, that's really it. Estarossa was the most perfectly designed character in history. No joke. I still think that his passive, look how long it is, his passive being not only the team support, but also making so he can still do a ton of damage with his cards. He's just a perfect character. I legitimately thought he was never gonna be out of meta. He is now. He's not really all that good anymore. But, and his relic honestly came out at a good time. I felt like everyone, including me, was like, man, his relic is already here, but he's still meta. And then he kind of fell off like immediately. After the relic came out, it was almost perfect. But this guy kind of fell off because demon meta does not accommodate for him anymore. Demons are not even meta anymore to begin with. But at the end of the demon meta, so not when Demon King came out, but mainly like recently, towards the end of demon meta, he was just not runnable anymore because of new teams, especially Unknown. When Hell came out, it was pretty much over for him. I legit thought he was never going to be off meta. He's just one of those characters. But every good thing must come to an end, and how good it was to play with Estarossa. I thoroughly enjoyed it, that's for sure. Let's spread some... you have Tarmanic on DM, yeah. Let's spread some darkness right here. He is gonna level 3 with Meli next turn, which is not ideal, but did single target with Estarossa first, cause dodge, so. But because we're like spreading darkness, our stats are increasing. This is why I just love his design so much. Still, like I just mentioned, I don't think he's meta anymore. I don't think. I know he's not meta anymore. He's just not. But his design is still phenomenal. The whole darkness thing was like executed so perfectly. And we're gonna talk about it again next festival actually because it ties up to it. But I just love this character so much. Really, really hope next Estarossa iteration is also masterfully designed like this one was. Because Estarossa is definitely one of my favorite characters in the show. Estarossa / Mael. So I really liked the fact that he was super meta for a long time. Mael not so much. Now he is, but Estarossa was not done dirty whatsoever. And throughout the history of this game, Estarossa has been done pretty good with Green Estarossa too. Fast Merlin was a character that I always felt like tried to be Estarossa so bad, but was very poorly designed. And at launch, she was pretty bad, like really, really bad. And then, you know, the collab with Shield Hero came out, and things changed. She actually became meta for a little while, but I just always despise the design of this character. Oh, I'm out of stamina. What am I facing? An Assault Meliodas. Okay. But this exactly, I wanted to show exactly why I've always detested her design. I'm gonna try to, but it's gonna be hard. I'm probably gonna die next turn. The debuffs. So the debuff applies right before the attack, and for her to do damage, so this card right here is her damage card, right? For her to do damage, she needs the enemy to have 4 stacks. Problem is, there's only one time, one attack that will happen. So, let's say for example, right? You have, let's pretend that this card right here is this one. Like, so this Philo single target, replace it with the Merlin AoE. And I want to use like this card and then combine the two and do like a level 2, right? You can't because the debuffs are going to go away. So you have to like either merge first or something. Like you just need to make sure that you time it perfectly every single time, or it just does not work. And I just always felt like that was such terrible design because Estarossa came out right before her and his design was masterful. If you have 4 darkness on the enemy, the darkness doesn't just leave. Like, they get encroached, and on that turn, they still have the darkness, and they have the encroachment, but the darkness doesn't just leave, so you can still use the spin attack, no problem. It leaves next turn, like, it resets if you don't kill them, which is unlikely, because if you have 4 darkness, you're dead. But with Merlin, that was just not how they designed her, and I always felt like, man, she came out right after Estarossa, couldn't they have just, like, done that for her? I don't know. Hopefully she gets a good relic, by the way. She doesn't have one. And she could make a good comeback with a weird, like, team like this or something. We're already at the 1 ultimate. Actually, he feels so recent because, you know, I think the characters that have come out since him haven't been that much better than him necessarily, just have been better built for teams. Because this guy, at launch, was so unbelievably strong. But his biggest hurdle throughout his whole, you know, lifespan, because he's pretty much unrunnable now, never had a team. Like, there was no team for him. He was always like a flex option because he was so strong, but he never matched well with any team necessarily. And people just run teams around him because he was so good. But unfortunately, he never really got a team until at some point Ban came out, right? And that was good for him when he got the human part of the passive. But not really, because he was better run on Sins. Like, unfortunate for our boy, but you know, it is what it is. But not to say that he wasn't like meta when he came out. He was, and he still kind of is meta in PvE for some things, especially like fast runs for stuff. Like the extra hit you get is really, really powerful. You know what? I'm just gonna go for the kill on her. First turn, don't care. Always loved his design of the extra hit. Unfortunately, again, tragedy struck with not having a team, and then right after... And November festivals have this problem, right? November festivals, they exist on a universe that you know, December is coming, and that festival is gonna be better. Like, you just know. It's how it's been since, 2020. And it's gonna be now as well. We're about to get a new festival. Oh, Ban. That is a lot of damage. Jesus. Not even Traitor Meli is gonna save you from that. Dear Lord. My God. If I do this... Can I double kill? Nah. Maybe? Yes, it does double kill. Nice. Nice. Yeah, the second hit on single target was just so crazy. And again, like, he had so much stuff going for him, but they just didn't give him a team. Like, humans were not usable. They just simply weren't usable. And it's not like they became usable while he was still around, really. By the time humans became a proper team, it was with LR Escanor, not the one ultimate. So even though, like, I'm not trying to say, if you weren't playing when he was around, that he wasn't good, because he really was. He was super good. There was always this, like, come on, man, give this guy a team. Give this guy a team, and there never was a team. He's a tragic tale, but he was so good that he will still run. That's just how good he was. Purgatory Meliodas. This is what Assault Meliodas always dreamed of being. A character that makes the enemy fear attacking you, because they know if they attack you too much, you're gonna get too strong. That's exactly how he was designed. This is what I believe. He was designed to be just a better version of Assault Meli, and that's what he is, really. And he was an interesting release, because at the time, demons were already meta. To an extent. Like, Estarossa was so powerful, and they have Traitor Meli. We already had the Blue Zeldris, stuff like that. But we didn't have a good Meliodas, really. Assault Meli, like Traitor Meli, they were good, but they weren't competing with Escanor, right? And that's where this guy came in, like that. And this guy completely shook the game for, like, how long, dude? Like, so long. The game was plagued by this guy, and it didn't stop. Remember the stretch of time where demons just wouldn't stop getting characters? It was magical in a way, and now it's like afterwards became unknown, and we have these periods of time where, like, some specific race of characters gets characters non-stop, and it was a time for demons where we got, Estarossa, Zeldris, then we got Chandler, we got Cusack, we got Purgatory Meli, we got then Demon King Zeldris. We'll get there soon, right? It was an interesting stretch of time, to say the least, right? And I mean, if you weren't there to experience Purgatory Meli at his peak, you don't understand. Like, you don't understand how significant the gap between characters and Purgatory Meli really was. Escanor had just come out, and it was really a thing where, man, Escanor is so good. How were they gonna top Escanor? How? How is a character gonna be better than Escanor? And there it was. Simply put, there it was. Mael, similar to Escanor, was a character that was also plagued for a long time. Difference being is that now he has a team. Like, right now, at this current very second that we're talking, he does have a team. Not for long, because a new festival Meliodas is coming out, but, is what it is. Mael had his time to shine. Sunshine. In any case, very good design character. Like, I think Mael is one of the best design characters in the game. And it's funny because he is technically Estarossa, right? Or not technically, he is Estarossa. And both Estarossa and Mael, I think, has some of the best design kits in the game. But unfortunately for Mael, unlike Estarossa, he just got dealt a really bad hand where all of his team was old characters. Now we got a revamp with newly released Liz, Margaret got an LR, Tristan is somewhat recent, it was like anniversary. But at his time in February of 2023, man, was really rough for a guy. No good characters were coming out. That Light Liz, dude. That Light Liz sucked. Like, she sucked. And he was still meta. That's the thing, like, he was meta for a little while. He wasn't meta for too long, but he was meta. That's just how good the character design was. That even with the worst hand possible, he still managed to be meta. And I think that just show how impressive the character was. So strong. Not enabling your whole team to be Stat Lord, which was, you know, I didn't talk about Escanor having this because I was saving for here, right? Escanor did that for himself, but not as good as Mael. Escanor could still be lowered up to his base. So let's say Ban here. Ban could still attack lower Escanor because Escanor's going to be boosted by basic stats from someone else, right? But Mael does not allow any lowering whatsoever for your whole team, provided they're all goddesses. And that's the thing, right? For a long time, there were no good goddesses, man. Very unfortunate for Mael. It was something that honestly kind of made me a little sad because like I just mentioned, I really like Mael, and seeing that he was a really good unit, like he released as a super good unit, that just was shafted by not having good characters around him. And then we got like that god-awful green Ludociel that sucked, like, you know, things were not looking for good for a guy. And I really like Mael, but, you know, it was what it was, right? We didn't have any good stuff to run of him until now. And, you know, he's about to be kicked off again, but at least he had his time. Ban, just like Margaret, has an interesting history of being buffed after launch because the character was just simply not good enough. And if you notice, you know, every festival has had their time to shine at some point, but if Ban had never been buffed, that time would have never happened because he really was pretty bad pre-buff. But now, you know, he's somewhat recent. He was the anniversary character of this year, so he's very good still. And he can do a ton of damage. I don't like how he is honestly the first character that dupes really matter. Escanor also had this where he got more revives if, or sorry, he got more stacks of the revive if he had more dupes. But Ban at 1/6 and 6/6, he has such a gap in damage because of the extra passive. And it seems like all festivals now will have this, and it's very unfortunate. Even a collab character like Ainz has it, and at 1/6, Ainz is pretty bad, but at 6/6, he's pretty okay. And this is him running for also, you know, variety, but he can be running a few teams actually. He is also a very well-designed character, post-buff. Obviously post-buff, you know, we're not going to talk about him pre-buff or anything. Post-buff, how it is right now, he's a pretty well-designed character with his passive, giving HP to all allies, debuffing the enemies. He himself does a ton of damage when you combo. I still don't like the combo factor, but when you do combo, he does enough damage, I feel like, that it's warranted. Weird goddess team with Nanashi. But in any case, very well designed character. He was the anniversary of this year, so like I just mentioned, we're getting to the characters that are so recent that they're still very, very good. So there's no like me saying, oh, you know, he had his time to shine. Ban is still meta to an extent. Like, goddesses are the main meta team, but not just the main meta team is usable, other teams also are. So yeah, Ban is still good. There's not much nostalgia talking about him because he's he's recent, so he's just good. Again, don't like the fact of the matter of the dupes, and unfortunately it seems like how it's gonna be because Ban. So we only have Ban, DK, Hell, and Liz left, right? I believe so. And DK did not have any BS with the dupes, but Hell did, and so did Liz. So I don't know if they are testing how far they can push with these extra passive on buffs, or sorry, on dupes. But hopefully it will not be a very permanent trend, because I am not a big fan of it. Demon King is the unit I think overpowered. In 2023, this is the overpowered unit of the year. Every year has had, I think, their most well-known unit. In 2020, I think Lost Vein is the known unit for that year. 2021, you can maybe argue for some, I think Traitor Meli. This year, you know, we haven't had the December character of the year yet, but man, Demon King dominated the day he came out until now. So he's still very good even after demons have not been meta anymore. After, you know, Unknown kind of kicked him off meta, he was still usable with some setups. It's just how strong he is. Even outside of his own team, he was still usable. And we're just gonna have a good old time with him. But just so you know, a new Meli unit is about to come out, and chances are he's gonna make a comeback. How fitting, we faced a DK as well. Although DK is not as relevant at the moment, you know, you're not going to be facing him very often because Liz team and even the Unknown team kind of took his light away. Just the long running meta of his, I think, cements him as the overpowered character of the year. Even after trials and tribulations with metas coming out afterwards, he's still very, very good and still usable as well. Like, some setups are meta using him just outside demons. Like, demons can't really compete anymore in the current meta as much, but setups outside demons can. We're gonna pop in this level chip. It's just everything about him, like the ticking time bomb he has. If you don't kill him in 2 turns, you lose. You just lose, right? Let's do this. So there's like an urgency that he creates within the match. Like, you gotta kill him. Like, if you don't kill him, he's gonna get the rank up. He's gonna get all the attack buffs, and it's Gowther. Like, there's no comeback from that. That sense of urgency is what I think really encapsulates the unit. And this is what we do exactly. We go for the Demon King over the Mael. Even though Mael's gonna get a cleanse, gonna get the attack buff, Demon King is the one I am actually concerned with. Not really Meli. So that encapsulates the character the most. I think that urgency he creates is what he's going to be remembered for in the years to come. His ult sucks though. His ultimate is actually really bad. But other than that, stupid unit. Hell was the first original character festival. Not a big fan. Don't like her design. In terms of passive, I like her actual character design. Don't like her passive design. Super annoying with the corrosion. And thankfully she's not meta anymore. That's really all I have to say about her. I truly, really hope this character rots in everyone's box forever. She is still usable. As you can see, this guy's using it as well. But she's not necessarily meta. The reason for that is just goddesses can cleanse. That's really all it came down to. Anytime a new character was gonna come out that can cleanse and was meta, it was over for her, because her whole thing is the debuffing. And she doesn't stop cleanse or anything. So the very moment a cleanse character was to go, okay, Rimmer's gonna get one-shotted. Sick. I'll dodge, yeah. Of course. Oh, missed the crit, okay. In any case, I just knew it because that was all she can do. She can't seal the cleanse or anything, she just debuffs. And thankfully, it has already happened, so hopefully it will last a good while, because I do not like this character. I don't like what she stands for. I don't like the fact that she's an original character getting a festival. OC's got almost half the releases this year. So if you go on the character releases this year, 2023, almost half of the releases were OCs. And one of them got a festival. Not a big fan. Hopefully I'll never have to use this character again. That's really it. Going through this video, I noticed most of the characters I don't like are women. I don't know why. Like, I don't know why the game gives women the most annoying, like, kits. I just noticed that. I swear to God, like, this is not on purpose. Like, I didn't, like, plan on doing this. I did not plan. This is really unfortunate. I did not plan on just shitting on every women character. But it just so happens that the devs make pretty much all the women festivals have, like, annoying designs. Goddess Liz. Light Liz. Hell. Diane had bad design at launch, but you know, Tarmelink fixed her. Which is a man. Like, what is going on? Thankfully, the next Liz I'm about to talk about, I don't have anything bad to say about her because she is OP. But funny, unfortunate coincidence. Really is. I also don't like her design on the fact that her ult passive, like depending on how many dupes she has, she gets more revives. Also do not like that. I think it's really shitty that they started doing that. And but that's not her fault. No, the first character that did this was Ascanor technically, and then Ban, and then her. Skipped Demon King, like I said, which was interesting. Maybe they already had Demon King like planned out to a certain extent before they started like going crazy with it, with those passives, but whatever, man. I don't know what else to say. Now we're finally at the last. Liz just came out recently, and she's very strong. She is honestly a... You know, I talked about how Purgatory Meli is a better version of Assault Meli. Like, he is what Assault Meli wishes he was. This unit is what the other Light Liz wishes she was. Like, she has a powerful AoE with a really powerful single target. Like, that's what she wished she did. She didn't have any utility on those cards. She just had damage, and so does this character. She only really has damage, but she actually hits hard. And her passive, you know, although very similar to the other Liz, it's much more forgiving, and there's no end to it. You know, it keeps cycling. So, a much better designed character. I do not like the fact that you need her 6/6 for her to be actually like at her best, because she has revives, and much better designed revives than the other Liz, I might add. Because I didn't even talk about the other Liz's revives. She revives, you know, with her ult. Not very good. Like, her ult gives you a revive for a few turns, just like... Ults should end the match. That's what festivals are designed to do when they ult, is just guarantee the win. The revives kind of guarantee the win, but not really. This character, although again I don't like how it is designed, where you need her 6/6 for the revives to last long enough. The revives at least are good. Like, you have the revive on the least health character, and damage reduction on the other two. Or if you have her 1/6, you only have the revive. And it's only 3 turns. Again, do not like that mechanic. It's not necessarily her fault that she didn't start doing this, but I do hope that they stop. There has been pushback against this whole ordeal, so I hope they listen to feedback that people just don't like this. Like, you know, one thing is, like, obviously they're gonna make a lot of money from mechanics like this from whales. Whales are gonna 6/6 anyways, but they feel even more inclined. But player morale also matters a lot, so I hope they do realize that. He's using Liz as well. The remove ult gauge design as well is very good. Like, this character is very well designed. When it comes down to it, when you look at what she does, she's just a very well designed character. And if not for the little unfortunate mishap of the ult level giving more stuff, I think she would be remembered more fondly. But as it is right now, I'm pretty sure months to come, when she's not meta anymore, people are not going to remember her. Because a lot of people are never going to see her true potential because of the dupe increase passive bullshit. Like, you remember Lost Vein at his peak if you played. Because if you had him 1-6, you could still pop off. Like, your ult wasn't going to do as much damage, but you could still pop off of his cards. You could still pop off his ultimate, really. Like, even at 1-6 to an extent. With characters like these, you're not going to remember the moments where you pop off with them if you've never had the opportunity to use them at a legitimate, like, state of their lifespan. So that's it. Hopefully the new Meli is coming out in a few days. By the time I'm recording this video, will also be OP, just like I talked about with DK. But that's about it.